Hi guys, I just wanted to film another pregnancy update. I feel like today's lighting is just going really well compared to normal. I usually do these pregnancy updates when I'm with my daughter, I think, or maybe like on a weeknight, so I'm super cranky and tired and can't think properly. So hopefully today I'm just like a little bit more with it and don't seem as crazy. Although I don't know, because the state of my hair says otherwise. I don't like to brush my hair a lot because I feel like, I don't know, I've read like mixed things. I've read it's like not very healthy to brush it all the time. I mean, I brush my hair every single day, but like sometimes I just do it before I leave the house. Like I don't wake up and brush my hair. I will just brush it like once before I go out of the house and that's it for the day. Sometimes twice a day. Anyway, I haven't brushed my hair yet, and honestly sometimes, I know it sounds really crazy, but sometimes I just feel like it looks a little prettier after like 24 hours of not brushing it because it just has a bit more volume and oomph, and then when I like brush it, it's just like really like straight. So I don't know, that probably just makes me sound like a lazy fuck. But anyway, in fact, you know what, I should probably just stop brushing it while I talk. Just so you guys don't think I'm just lazy. Anyway, I will be leaving the house shortly, so that's fine. So I am 33 weeks pregnant and 1 day as of today. And I am ready to not be pregnant. Like, it is getting very, very uncomfortable as of the last week. And I think I probably said that in all my other videos. But I mean, I can't even like explain this discomfort. It's like changed to a whole nother level. And when I talk about that, like, I mean, basically I've been having like very bad lightning crotch, and when I'm walking, a new symptom as of this week is sudden waves of pressure. And when I say this, I mean like, it feels like in general baby's kind of just hanging around in there, and it's very heavy, it's very uncomfortable. But sometimes when I'm walking, I can suddenly feel like her butt, because she's breech. So like, this is like my vagina, right? And it feels like her butt is normally just sort of like here, just chilling around, feet are kicking me. Sometimes when I'm walking, it just feels like oomph, like suddenly this like large thing just is going right down on my cervix. And it is like unbearable, and it stops me walking in my tracks, and I suddenly like grab my belly and I'm like, is my water about to break? Like, are my cervix just gonna fall apart? Like, what is happening? It is really strange, and I don't remember having this with my daughter. Maybe I did like the week before birth, but it is just this sudden like, oh, like something's just suddenly like really heavily fallen onto my cervix. I don't know if it's like cervix, I don't know how to say it. And it's just like a huge wave of pressure that suddenly like kind of like knocks you off balance, and you have to stop, and you're like, wait a minute, like, am I okay? Like, what's about to happen? And then you continue walking. That has started happening this week, and it happens probably like every few minutes whenever I'm walking now. And it's like less alarming now. It's happened like, you know, a good like 45 times. But it is kind of very annoying. And I do get really, really bad lightning crotch now, which I don't remember having at all with my daughter, but maybe I've just forgotten stuff because it's been a little while. But when I say lightning crotch, I mean, it feels like someone's getting a needle that's like this long and very thin, and just like right up my vag, like into my cervix, like going through my cervix, through my whole vaginal canal. I'm not trying to be TMI, but that's exactly how it feels. And it is like so bad. I don't know why this exactly happens, but everyone talks about it when they're pregnant, and now I understand. It's really just unpleasant. It's like a shooting pain, like literally like lightning going up your vag. Luckily it doesn't happen like too much when I'm like laying down or reading. It's mostly a standing thing, but it's pretty like, not fun. So all the symptoms I'm gonna talk about are like a little more TMI this week. because that's the reality. As you get into late pregnancy, you get a little more icky symptoms. So I'm going to talk about lady fluid. So I've always had like normal discharge throughout my pregnancy, like normal fluid, you know, but I have noticed this week, like sometimes there's like a trickle or like almost like, I don't know, much thinner fluid. And I don't think my waters have ruptured. I don't think my waters are leaking slowly or anything like that, because I feel like I'd be much more aware of it and I would have a lot more pain. Of course, I'm seeing my OB in 2 days, so I will mention it. But something I have noticed, and this did also happen with my first pregnancy, so I'm not very alarmed. In my first pregnancy, when this happened, I would like go straight to the baby hospital and I was like, are my waters leaking? And they were like, no, it's just normal. So that's why I'm like less alarmed. But what I've noticed this pregnancy is that I have had like the past week like slight like trickles of very like watery discharge, like not like white, it's like transparent, almost like ovulation fluid. It just suddenly come out. So I think that is like another thing that like happens as your body like prepares for labor. So I have noticed that, which it's not like a bad symptom at all, like it's totally fine. It's just something I've noticed. Again, my skin and hair have been staying really good, so that's a positive thing. I have started having a lot more pain moving. It's very difficult for me now to get in and out of bed and roll from one side to the other, which is of course extremely annoying because I have to pee all night long, especially with a breech baby that is kicking my bladder. So that's been a little frustrating. I feel sort of like I'm dragging a watermelon around every time I turn in bed. It's just not fun anymore. Getting up is a lot more difficult. Getting my socks on is very hard. I have to like lay on my back and like lift my leg up, and it's just like not fun. Of course, shaving down there, can't see anything anymore, so I'm just kind of weighing it. Not so fun anymore. Yeah, just everything's become like a little bit more challenging and difficult. And what's really funny is I've always carried small this whole pregnancy, barely had a bump, had people even doubt if I'm pregnant or not. But this past week, literally between week 32 and 33, the belly just suddenly came out. And I'm going to show you at the end. So that was weird. It almost like happened overnight. But I guess they do start gaining like half a pound a week now. So that would explain it. And that also explains the discomfort. The weight gain is very rapid towards the end. So yeah, I had my daughter at 36 weeks pregnant. So I'm half expecting to just go into labor in 3 weeks, which is pretty scary if this baby does decide to like sort of start coming out around the same time. But if that's not the case, I still know that my baby's going to be here in the next 6 weeks, which is still crazy soon, like 6 weeks, like it's April, okay? That's like halfway into next month. I'm just like, oh my God, the baby is going to be here so soon. So my C-section is going to be scheduled for either May 17th, 18th, or 19th. Again, I'm seeing the doctor on Tuesday, so that's something that I will hopefully get to plan then. I have not had a last ultrasound yet, so I'm interested to see how much he weighs at my next scan, which I think will be week 34 or 35, and that's where they're like, okay, your baby's breached, so you can have an ACV or a C-section. An ACV was honestly something I started considering because my first C-section was so traumatic. An ACV is where they use their hands to turn the baby. But there are like really small risks of placental, abruption, cord prolapse, and just like going into labor spontaneously. And I really don't want to have an emergency C-section where I'm put under general anesthesia. So that's sort of why I'm like, I don't really want to try to turn the baby and then have an emergency situation. I'd rather just go through the horrible situation but have it planned. And it's very similar with a VBAC. With a VBAC, which is a vaginal birth after C-section, you're also sort of taking on the risk of an emergency cesarean. So they're just things I don't really want. Like, if I have to go through another C-section, I'd rather it was planned. Obviously, I think if the baby does turn head down, I will maybe attempt a VBAC, but I just don't see them turning head down at this point. My daughter just didn't turn head down at all, so I don't have a lot of faith there, and I've tried a lot of exercises. Nothing's worked. So that's that situation. And then again, with an ACB, there's only a 50% success rate, so it's just not really worth it. It's very painful. You often need an epidural just to go through it, and then it's only like 50% successful. And then even if it's successful and it's a VBAC, like, it's still got a higher chance of turning into an emergency cesarean compared to a first-time natural birth. So it's just not worth it to me. So I'm kind of just getting my head around the C-section thing. I've almost finished my hospital bags. Like, I'm 95% done. I just have a couple more things arriving from Amazon. And then next week will be what's in my hospital bag video. So I'm very excited. I might split it into 3 videos because I'm packing my bag, my baby's bag, and then my boyfriend's bag for him. So I might do like what's in my hospital bag and then what's in my baby's hospital bag. And then I will film a video being like, this is what I put in my boyfriend's hospital bag. In fact, I'm kind of considering trying to get him to film it with me because I filmed a YouTube video with him on his YouTube channel, but he's never been on my channel. So I might see if I can get him to like be less shy and be like, hey babe, can you come and like sit with me while I do this video? And I'll even show him what I packed for him. Like, he won't even know. I'll just be like, this is what I packed for my boyfriend, and we'll get his like response to like the snacks and the clothes. But I do need to run that past my boyfriend. He might just not be into it. Anyway, lastly, I'm gonna show you the bump. I know I've been like so much more like with it and hyper in this video, and in all my videos I'm like out of it. But I did just have my coffee, so that is like the best time for me to talk, even though I end up talking really fast and hyperactively. But it's better than being out of it. I'm always coughing in this house, by the way. I don't know if I'm allergic to cat hair, whether there might be like mold in the ceilings, but like you can't visibly see any mold, that's the thing. It looks pretty clean, so I just don't know. I'm just constantly like acting like I'm sick, so yeah. Anyway. Oh God, how do I prop this up? Oh. Oh no, that's a hairbrush under me. Oh man, I'm trying to get the angle. Okay, we got there. So, this is the belly. She's making her way out, like she's making her appearance. So yeah, not the most glamorous baby bump, but this is what we got going on here at 33 weeks. Anyway, I hope you're all having a wonderful April, Easter, I don't know, it's not Easter yet, and I will see you in next week's video.